All right, guys, so I just changed the radiator fluid, and the temps are still pretty high, you know, but when I'm going, we have this huge gap here, okay, and the air is just going right through it, so it's not being pushed through the radiator. So this, I just bought this. This is just pipe. You know, it's for the pipe insulation pipe fitting. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take these little slips off here after I cut it to match, and look how good this fits in there. And it looks just real nice. It fits in just temporary, and the air will not move this out because it's quite snug in there. So see how nice that'll go up along there, okay? And then I got, oop, it's falling over. And then we got to seal this between the hood and that. And so I got this expandable Frost King. It's 1 inch by 1 inch. And so I'll follow along right there. And I want to go along this top. Of course, I got to clean all that. I got to wipe it off and get all that dust off there. And we'll follow along here. And that'll help seal air going over, you know, this little gap here. They do have kits, okay? But this is an aftermarket radiator, and I still have that big gap. And the kits, they have like a little gap that goes in between here. And then there's one more area that is down in here. And I'm going to do the same thing. I don't know if you can see it. There you go. I'm going to do the same thing with that. What is it? The pipe rubber. And this is actual, it's like a rubber type of mesh. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is get this measured out exactly where I want it, and then kind of score it a little bit, put a little hole in there, that way I know where to cut it. And then I'll score it, cut it, and then we'll put it in. Alright, so then we just taped, or took that adhesive on both sides and just made a makeshift we just kind of roll it in there, and that'll force that up into there. I mean, you'd have to get a lot of wind pressure to push this out. Let's see here. Rotate this a little bit. There we go. That looks really nice there. So that should help. Now I have to do the same in this corner here. I have to get in these corners. So this one, I might be able to get this in here, because if it comes up an inch, it might expand enough to get in between there. And yeah, we'll see. So let's go ahead and clean the top of this. Stick some glass cleaner and along the top. That way we get a nice clean adhesive to this. Since we're right here, might as well finish that top. That's what that looks like. Comes in a little thing like this. And see that foam starting to expand out a little bit as we go. So I'm just gonna kind of just go across here. I'm gonna start right here and just go along the top here, that adhesive. Hopefully this is thick enough. Where's that? Okay. Okay, before I go any further than that, take the scissors. Cut it to where it needs to be. Okay. Now we can pull the rest of this adhesive off. Put it right down into there. All right. So I'm thinking that adhesive, get right down in there. Do the same maybe that way. We'll see here in a minute. I'm gonna think about it. All right. So let's go ahead and close the hood and see if it leaves any indentations on the foam itself. That way we know it's that way we know it's sealing. Okay. That looks pretty good so far. I mean it's way better. Way better than what it was. And you have to make sure you get the rubber foam, that because it holds into the heat a little bit. We'll let that sit a little bit, just for a second. Let's open up the hood and see. Yeah, I don't see any. It just pops back up, so I can't really tell. When I do close it, maybe I could close it and I can look. As I close it, let's see if it touches. Instead of going all the way down. Need my flashlight. Hard to tell. There's a little bit of space. Seals really well right here. There's a tiny little space right there. I can always take this off, you know, and see if I'm gonna go maybe on eBay or Amazon and see if I can find one that's a little bit thicker. But that will work for now. That's better than nothing. But I think, because that's 1 inch by 1 inch, I think I need to go a little bit thicker on that. All right, so now we'll get down and do the bottom part here, and just same thing. I'm just going to cut it like with the top one here, and like I said, it fits in real snug, so it's not like it's not causing me any problems, you know. Yeah, so I'll just do the same thing down here. Oh yeah, that's good. It'll work just fine doing it that way. So same thing, we'll cut and we'll come back the before and after. So there's once again that big gap right there before. And okay, so to make this one a little more firm, that little strip I put across the top there, that way it, you know, it won't bend as easy. I'll be able to stick it in there a lot better, because it was kind of, I mean, it fits fine, but it would be better if I could make it just more firm. That way I know it will not pop out. Believe it or not, this fits like really well. I'm really surprised. I mean, every radiator is going to be different, you know what I'm saying? So I'm just kind of rolling it in there a little bit. And that is not going to go anywhere. So see, now we filled up that gap. So the idea is it's supposed to flow up. So it's going to catch. Boy, I need to clean the car. It needs to go up and up through those little holes there. And then see those little air intake holes? Then it comes up and it kind of forces its way through the radiator. So just that alone should work really well. Now, like I said, I don't think that's gonna fit down in there. So unless maybe I cut it a little bit different or something, but I don't know. Maybe it will. I'll figure something out. I'm gonna mess around and see if I can seal off. Actually worked. I got that little piece going down that way, and it just, you know, I stuck it just here at the top, and then the rest is just, you know, stuffed in there. So I got to do the other side, but that will seal up my radiator and force air, like you said, through the radiator. You know. And also, you know, another thing, because I'm still not done. You know, with my let's see, you know, with my big old front diffuser, because I got air coming up through, you know, diverting air. And so what I could do is I could put like a little cutout right after the radiator, and since now I have that hood scoop, I can draw a little bit of air and bring the air straight up through here and out the vent, you know, down in that little gap there. So I can redesign that, and that would help airflow, you know, come up through. So and help all that air just, you know, exit the car. All right, that's basically it. I think that looks much better, and hopefully next time I take it for a drive, it helps keep everything much cooler. So we should be okay. All right, so I had a little bit of a gap right through the top here because of my hood, just you know, because it has a little more. So what I did is I just doubled it, and besides, like right there, you can see the seam, but that way, once it compresses down, you know, and the hood's on it, it'll compress down, and then that way it'll hold everything in right there. So now no air will escape. So now it fits just nice and tight, snug, and we'll see. Next time I drive it, we'll see if that, you know, helps anything there. And like I said, then we'll put like a little. We still got some more modifications when I get back to body work, but when I put that diffuser on there, I will put a little scoop. Like I said, that way it'll come right up, just enough air just to pick up a little bit and come up out through the vents. And that way I'll be getting out all that hot air. You know, kind of like was it GT40s? Is it GT40s that do that, or the Daytonas? Can't remember. Anyway, they have that scoop, you know, but they have a big old entry in the front that just scoops, whoop, and goes up through the radiator. You know, and exits up through a big old vent in their hood. I can't remember what car. I think it was the Daytona. So anyway, that should help get everything moving up through the air, through there, out through here. And of course I got right here, they'll be pushing air out through there, but when I'm driving I can see the little vapor, you know, coming off the top of that, so it makes a huge difference. Yeah, so you know, everybody swears by it. These Corvettes originally came with it. This car didn't have it. It does now. So hopefully that will help introduce some more air up into that system there. So, and maybe we can keep temperatures a little bit cooler. You know, when I took it for a spin today, it got to about 220 or whatever like that. You know, I mean, it is 109. You know, today, so that doesn't help. But anyway, yeah, we'll see. You know, normally you wouldn't be driving this car in this heat anyway, so it's just too damn hot. All right, well, anyway, we'll see you guys Saturday. We'll take this to the car show and go from there. But at least I got a little bit of work done on it. Like I said, I've been stupid busy, so. All right, and then also, yeah, I put these new windows in and everything, and I never have them up. And so another thing, so I put the new weather stripping in and everything, and when the window rises, it won't go all the way up if the door is closed. So I opened up the door and I have the window pushed in there, so hopefully that'll start, you know, pressing up against that that weather stripping, and it'll create that seam. So I'm going to keep my windows, when it's in the garage, I'm going to keep the windows up and keep it pushing against that weather stripping. And that way they'll hopefully, once they get a little bit older and a little more used to where they need to be, then it'll level out. All right, guys, I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching, and yeah, maybe, God, so hot, you know. So maybe I'll get to it sooner or later. I'll get to it again. All right, see you then.